stack the money, make it multiply. Yellow, white, gold, can't decide.
What you get?
Some nuggets and fries.
Oh, is we sponsored by Wendy's now for real?
Yeah, I called Wendy's up. They said we good.
That's a bet. What's up, everybody? We back. Facts over feelings. It's your man, Bobbie Champion.
I'm Chris Staples. What's going on, everybody? Got a lot to talk about today. I'm excited. I got my chicken nuggets. About good.
Is those the spicy ones or not?
They spicy, bro. You gotta have something to drink with these.
Oh, I had. It's crazy. I actually had some earlier on the road trip. Just had some. Everybody.
Oh, Bobby, was you at a party the other day?
When?
You was at somebody's house in Tarzana or something like that.
Tarzana?
I don't know about her. It was a party or something, man. I saw a picture.
Me?
Yeah.
Nah, I'll be chilling, bro.
I'm talking trash. I'm just talking.
Nah, I don't party, bro. I'll be chilling.
You be grinding. You be grinding, bro. I don't know how you do it, man.
Hey, man. Shit. We keep each other motivated, man. You know what I'm saying? So
all day.
I see you work. I say I gotta stay at it too.
I see coaching, music videos.
Hey,
we out here, bro.
Yeah, we are, man. I hope you went and subscribe to my. I already know you subscribed. But for all of you guys, I hope everybody out there is already subscribed to our channels. Make sure that y'all like, comment, and we're gonna get right into it today. Okay? So listen up. We have the Heat Lakers series, right? Everybody thought it was over. Chris and I spoke before Game 3, and we actually talked like, man, should we do one today? Or no, let's wait. Because we knew it was going to be a good game today. We knew it was going to be juicy, and it was. So the Heat won. Now they're down only one. One game is 2-1, right? So let's talk about it. Facts over feelings. The Heat have now proved that they can push this to a Game 7.
Oh, wow. That's just a feeling. That's not a fact at all. Not even a fact at all. We definitely talked before the game, and it's crazy because you really kind of predicted what was going to happen. I'm surprised you didn't make the bets because I'm like, dang.
It's hard to bet against LeBron. I just can't.
It is hard to bet, but we knew at this point what that game might have and was going to be like. Oh, it could have. So, that's definitely a feeling. The Lakers have not lost 2 games in a row this entire playoffs, so I don't see them losing 2 games. They would have to lose 2 games in a row in order for the Heat to advance, to at least push it. At some point in this series, the Heat would have to win at least 2 games in a row. And the Lakers, and for a fact, the Lakers have not lost more than 2 games. Haven't lost 2 games in a row this entire playoffs. So I don't see that happening. And like I say, as always, if Anthony Davis does not have a good game, the Lakers do not win. If Anthony, that is facts. That is facts. I don't care what. LeBron, he probably didn't play as well as he could have played, but LeBron had 39-9. We really discount the fact they lost. LeBron had almost a 30-point triple-double.
Right.
Like, that's a great game. And I don't care if he didn't play well down the stretch. 39-9. And they still lost by 11 points. Why? Because your value really runs through Anthony Davis. When he plays well, everything else works. He needs that complementary player. And, it was crazy because Morris, he stepped up very well. He had like 20 points,
No, it looked like we picked the right one. We got the right twin. Clippers, I don't know. We got the right one. He don't play dirty. He not out there doing he just making his threes in this right spot.
Yeah, but the fact of the matter is, I don't see right now, just off that game, I still don't see the Heat pushing this to a Game 7.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. It's just a feeling, and it's a hope. It's a hope. Because that was the biggest thing we talked about. Like, we just want to see good basketball at this point because the first 2 games, I mean, the spread has been crazy. The first game, they were up 30 points. Like, who wants to really watch that?
Not for a finals, no.
Yeah.
We want to have some, like, kind of suspense on who could possibly win, not seeing 2 blowout games.
Right. But I got to talk about Jimmy Butler, right? So as far as it being a feeling, like it's definitely a feeling that they can push it to 7. But if Jimmy Butler is consistently dropping 40-point triple doubles, if he can do that consistently, that's a stretch. But if he can do that, and he can, this is the first time, that was the first time in NBA Finals history that LeBron has been, that someone has scored more points, assists, and rebounds, has beat him in all 3 of those categories. So with that, if he can do that, now we know that that's a stretch. If he can do that, right, then they have the ability to push it to 7. But what I anticipate will happen next game, they're going to throw double teams at him. He still doesn't have Bam. He still doesn't have Dragic. And I think it's just going to be too much. You know, I don't see Anthony Davis performing like that 2 games in a row.
Ever again.
Yeah.
I feel like somebody made a call last night and said, AD, relax.
Yeah.
Just chill a little bit. And then, you know, we have a good series going.
I have to question that Frank Vogel has done a great job coaching the whole entire playoffs. But yesterday I had some questions. Like why I get it. Now early in the playoffs, everybody's like, J.R. Smith should be playing. But at this point, we already to the finals. So you haven't played him or given him a chance all finals. So to see him out there for me was a bit confusing. I feel like Dwight Howard didn't play as many minutes yesterday. And I know Bam was out. So as far as him playing in the versatility, he might struggle with that because, you know, Bam's not out there. So matchup, he might have some trouble. But I feel like with what they've been doing, he's been doing a great job. So I was confused a little bit with the lineups, especially for them being up 2-0. What you guys were doing was working. Send a double team at Jimmy and keep it moving. Get the ball out.
You know what? You know, I mean, the only thing I have to disagree with you on is that Eric Spoelstra made a big coaching decision too. Played Kelly Olynyk a lot more.
He didn't have a choice.
He shot the ball well.
Yeah.
Then you had Myers, right? And he stretched the floor out too. You bring Myers out there, he can shoot that 3 ball. You have to take Dwight Howard out the game because what you're doing is taking him away from the basket.
Right.
And what you're doing with Bam is he can shoot mid range as far as it goes. It don't go further than the free throw.
So explain J.R. Smith sightings.
I have no idea why he.
Okay. Right. The Dwight Howard thing I agree with you.
It was like, you know what? It's like Danny Green is not giving us anything.
That's true too.
Because Danny Green had 2 points yesterday. JR had, you know, like him shooting is not really taking away from anything. So you just have a hope where, you know what, maybe JR will get hot. He's not on the scouting report, and we go from there. But I think it was a big coaching change with Eric Spoelstra by bringing those guys in. You know, obviously for Bam, and then them actually taking the shots. You know, Myers coming in, taking that, it makes the defense play a little bit more honest, and now you can run an actual pick and roll where you actually have to play honest instead of thinking someone's going to go to the basket and have a contested shot. You know, Dwight Howard, he doesn't want to be out there on the 3-point line. That's not his area.
Yeah.
So that's where, you know, for the next game, I don't like
Davis had early foul trouble too.
Yeah, that's when I knew they were in trouble when he got in the early foul trouble. And I was like, man, like, you know, you can get – if you get the game, you can make threes because you don't really trust Dwight because Dwight Howard's going to stay around the basket. If you ever bring JaVale McGee, they're all around the basket. AD is the only player who's the 4 or 5 who can stretch the floor out, and that makes a big difference on any team when you have a stretch 4. So, you know, I think Bam is coming back, but at the same time, I think Eric Spoelstra should still stay with the lineup and probably, you know, bring Bam in back in his spurts. You know, it's all about matchups. And, you know, when we didn't see Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee play in the Houston series just because the matchups weren't there. And I think for the Heat to push this series, they have to have that stretch 4 who's going to be willing to take that shot.
Right. Well,
and what Jimmy Butler said, they need the rebound. Jimmy said they need the rebound. And so if you bring Dwight or you bring Anthony Davis or you bring LeBron out to that 3-point line, you have a better chance at rebounding when they're not sitting at the basket waiting on it.
Right. The sad part is if they are depending on Kelly Olynyk and Leonard to save the day, then like we said, the chances
It's
of
not,
it.
but I don't think that's not saving the day, but it's making
Yeah.
the defense play honest.
It's
You make a couple of them,
a little bit.
that's all you really may need.
Yeah, but we know playoffs is a chess match, right? And
Right. Sure.
that's what you said. Like Spoelstra made some great adjustments. I think as far as against the Lakers, right? He made it in time to actually do something, because when you look at some of the other teams they played, like the Rockets didn't make any adjustments. That's why after they won one game, it was like, all right, now y'all out of here,
Yeah.
right? A lot of the other coaches just weren't good at making those adjustments. And like, so I do credit Spoelstra for that. And we knew that he would, be able to make a difference. Like we talked about that in the previous episode. I think that's where the Heat actually have the advantage from a coaching perspective. I would have to say Spoelstra right now, I think, in my opinion,
You got Spoelstra
accomplishments, he's a better coach than Frank Vogel.
Yeah, you're right. He 100% better coach. But I think on the Lakers bench, you do have Jason Kidd. He's silent over there. You don't know, but at the same time, he has LeBron and he has Rondo at point guard. It might be quiet, but J Kidd probably is definitely giving some great knowledge on how to run that offense.
Right. Yeah, you credit Jason Kidd for even. I think you look at LeBron's change. Obviously, he can, from a talent standpoint, he can do what he wants to do. But having J Kidd there and him leading the league in assists this year and it being the first time in his career, I don't think that's a coincidence. So I think that's a great call out. So while we're on the topic of the Lakers and talking about LeBron, right? So the past couple of days have just been juicy, right? So let's go ahead and talk about Kyrie Irving's comments on his teammates in the past, right? And so Kyrie Irving, we know he made some comments. If you aren't aware of what the comments are, essentially he said that this is the first time that he's looked down the bench and felt like he's had another player that can make the same shots that he can make in the clutch, that he's the best. In all his past teams, he's been the best option in the clutch, and that's how he's felt. So as far as facts over feelings, let's talk about that a little bit. What are give me the facts over feelings, all right? Has Kyrie Irving been the best clutch option down the stretch on all his teams in the past?
Facts, Kyrie Irving has been the most clutch player on his team down the stretch. But I'm not saying he's the best player on his team down the stretch. I would say LeBron James. And I think that was a shot at LeBron James. That's a fact.
Let's talk about wait. You said facts, right?
Yeah.
Now I need the facts. What facts are you justifying that statement in that he was the most clutch player down the stretch?
I feel like when Kyrie and LeBron were playing together.
I need the number. What numbers are you talking about? So you give me feelings.
We don't talk too much about it, but the tougher shots came with Kyrie Irving when they won the championship. LeBron, yes, he played great, but we don't even talk about the fact that Kyrie had 42. We like, dang, that's crazy. That's crazy. We always talk about LeBron. He killed the finals and he did his thing, and he made the clutch block and he had 40 points. But Kyrie had 40 points too, and he was cooking, and he made clutch shots. And when it's a last second shot, who did they really want the ball? Who had the ball? It was Kyrie Irving. When it came down to those last seconds, and it was an ISO play, LeBron was sitting in the corner. Kyrie said, "Give it to me." Kyrie said, "Give it to me." And I don't care who guarded me. That's a bucket. It's a bucket for Game 7. Kyrie comes down, LeBron passes it, and gets out the way because we know what Kyrie can do. There's no knock to LeBron, but we know what Kyrie can do. He's a one-on-one player. That's his thing. So when it comes down to taking the last shot, who would I want the ball in hands? I would definitely want the ball in Kyrie Irving's hands. That's a fact. Now, history will tell you LeBron James is the most clutch because he has been in more of those situations. But as far as playing with Kyrie Irving, I felt like that in fact, LeBron would give him the ball saying, I'm deferring to the kid, let the kid take over. Yes, and Kyrie was doing exactly what he was supposed to do.
Okay. I'll be honest. You said what?
Like that. Don't laugh at me like that.
Say that again, because you were breaking up a little bit, so say that again.
Do not laugh at me like that again in the middle of my speech. All right? Have some respect. Have some respect, bro.
And all right, so first let me say this, okay? Facts, right? These are just facts. Like the facts of what Kyrie Irving said from a numbers perspective just aren't true. In the last 5 minutes when the game is in between 5 points, Kyrie Irving's stats were just not better than LeBron's. He didn't average more points, he averaged less. Percentage-wise, field goal and three-point percentage, he averaged less. Like, now I will say what you did say that is true. LeBron has been in more situations. He has a much bigger sample size. And so what I will say about what Kyrie Irving said is this. What he implied is that he has confidence. He definitely has an ego. And when you talk about skills, right, you have to put Kyrie Irving's skills on, right, 99. I will have to put his ego. That's the one thing of all his attributes that goes higher than that. Now, what I'll say about that, we all know that with the skills, the talent, you have to have the confidence. You have to have some sort of an ego to actually excel. I don't think it's been any player that's been great and they're just like, oh, I'm timid. I don't want to be great. I'm not the best. Like, not even LeBron doesn't feel that way, as humbling as he may seem sometime and defer to other players. Now, what I will say is where it has hurt Kyrie is that it does come off as jealous is how he articulated it by saying that. And I don't think he thought about how many other people, right? Him saying that is now, you don't just play with Kevin Durant, bro. Like, you have 10 other players on the roster. And honestly, they made the playoffs this year without you guys, right? And so for you to be saying that, he just doesn't think sometimes from a leadership standpoint. Like, if he can improve his leadership qualities, and I think his ability just to take his time with even his career, like he rushed out of Cleveland. Him and LeBron probably could have won another championship. Imagine his year while he was with the Celtics, right? Where he actually played 60-plus games. If he would have did that with the Cavs, and Cavs went back to the finals, but without Kyrie. So I feel like he lets the jealousy make him overzealous, right? And he's trying too hard right now to prove that he's better than what he is. Like, you're a great player, bro, but no, you're not going to win without anybody. And even you saying you're looking down at Kevin Durant and saying, oh, I can look at somebody think he can make that shot. It's not about just the last shot. Who's going to make the best last play? And especially with Kevin Durant, you have to think like that. Because as a point guard, if it's Kevin Durant there, you better pass it to Kevin Durant for him to take that shot after you make the play.
I have to 100% agree with you on that. Like, I felt like what he said was, when I'm look down the line, he can make the same type of shots I can say I can make. That was totally unnecessary to say. You didn't need to even mention that.
Yeah,
that was a direct
more than just LeBron. People made it about LeBron.
That's where jealousy, I felt like, was coming out, and I really, even though those are two great players, Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, I don't personally feel like it will work right now. Yes, you're gonna have the offense, but it's gonna come down to the locker room, the camaraderie. It's gonna have people in the locker room that's gonna feel some type of way. Kevin Durant, one of the greatest scorers ever, publicly says, "Hey, I'm just doing my job." He's not saying I'm the leader of this team. He's not that guy. He says, "I'm not trying to be that guy. I'm just trying to come out here and hoop." And Kyrie Irving, he wants to be the leader, that guy, something he couldn't be in Cleveland when LeBron James came there. So he wants to be the leader of this team with Kevin Durant. And I feel like it's going to come down to, this is my team. I'm taking these shots when I do have a Kevin Durant over here. And like you said, when it comes down to it, I mean, I'm talking about with anybody in the NBA. I'd rather Kevin Durant have the ball at the end of the day, just because he can get any shot he wants anywhere on the court, from a three to a dunk.
He's a 7-footer with a three-pointer and crazy handles. Yes. If he's on LeBron, even LeBron's on this team, he's going to trying to make a play to get it to KD.
There's an ISO play. I want Kevin Durant with the ball. Yeah. I'm sorry. That's over everybody. That's over everybody. But, I felt like what he said was, like I said, it was out of bounds. There was no need to say that, no reason to bring that up. Yeah, we know who Kevin Durant is, bro. So you're not anything like that. But what you did, you spoke loud about LeBron because your only other teammate that was a superstar was LeBron. So that's what we all gonna refer to when you make a statement like that. Are you talking about LeBron? Because who else
Well,
could you
I
talk
mean,
about?
we can't forget as much as we do, right? We can't forget he did play 2 seasons with the Celtics. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
but none of those guys were superstars. Everyone on
Not
that team,
superstars, not
yeah,
superstars for sure.
but still, we're talking about a year ago, a year
Right.
and a half ago, whatever.
Yeah.
And no, I mean, I feel like, come on, immediately when he says that, who do you think about? You
Yeah.
don't think
You
about
think
Jason
about
Tatum.
LeBron,
You
definitely.
don't
For
think
sure.
about Kevin Love. You think about, okay, you're talking about
But
LeBron.
my whole point is that is right. It is direct. It definitely was disrespectful to LeBron. But I just think, like you talked about, was the camaraderie in the locker room. How many other people he disrespected by saying that was just like, you still play with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, and you play with talented people. So I'll use you as an example, right? You have hit a lot of clutch shots, right? You've hit a lot of clutch shots in your time playing basketball, right? Right. But how would you feel if, right, you're playing in the Olympics next year, right? You guys came out. How would you feel if Van and Ryan and Drew was like, I felt like, nah, Chris, he can't make that shot. I should be taking that shot. That is just, it just
It would just make you feel a certain type of way, and yeah, you're right. It will mess up the chemistry, and that's what I think he is doing by opening his mouth to a point where it's like, you have other people that play on your team as well. So to sit back and he actually played with Brooklyn.
He played this year.
Yeah, he played with Brooklyn, and like you said, this team made the playoffs. For you to make that statement, you're gonna have people looking at you in the locker room like, "Come on, man, relax."
Karis LeVert gonna be looking at you like, because let's be honest. Let's be honest. When you go back, right, and you look at Kyrie Irving prior to LeBron coming, and you look at somebody like a Karis LeVert, their careers are really similar in the fact that they were really talented, right? Are really talented, and they're on a team that's like kind of under the radar, not really getting that much shine. But next year, and even this year, you got to see Karis LeVert in the playoffs, and it was like, yo, this guy is good. So you can't just get out there and say that type of stuff, man. But I won't spend too much time on that because we both know Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, they're also master marketers, right? They are very good at taking advantage of the media and using the media against itself, really, right? They give you sound bites, they give you stuff to talk about, and they both have things for you to tune into. Obviously, Kyrie has his podcast. He has something where he's talking on and with Sage all around, and so does Kevin Durant. So everybody's talking about it. So that's a congrats to those guys.
And if you tweet about them, they will tweet you back.
Yeah. So they're getting the streams up right now. So shout out to those guys. So shout out Facts Over Feelings because we talked about y'all today. You know what I'm saying? All right. So moving forward, right? We have some changes that happened in the NBA, right? We have Doc Rivers, who was fired from the 76ers, and I mean, not from the 76ers, excuse me, from the Clippers, very quickly turned around, hired by the 76ers. So facts over feelings, right? Doc Rivers, 76ers, next year, championship contender.
No, that's just a feeling.
They're not even a contender?
No, it's just a feeling. One, will Kevin Durant be playing in the NBA next year?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So they're out of it. I'm just letting you know, like 76ers are going to be a good team, but that's far as it goes. I felt like they missed the mark a couple years. Like, I mean, they were one win away from going to the finals last year. And then, unfortunately, losing Ben Simmons in the playoffs this year was a big deficit on them from them. They only got swept, So I feel like the East
in the offseason.
Yeah, and I feel like the East is only getting better right now by adding Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving to the same team. I feel like Boston is right there. They're on like the cuffs of being a championship team. And then we have the Heat. So I feel like if I was to, rank where the 76ers would be, I would put them around the 5th seed. I would still say the Bucks are better. I would say Toronto is better. The Nets are better. And Boston is better, as well as the Heat. So they're kind of down there. So Even though they have a great coach, they would have to make a major roster change for that team to work. And I like Ben Simmons and I like Joel Embiid, but they would have to add something very serious to that team for them to be a contender with the way the East is looking.
Okay.
And that's just a fact.
Okay. Well, this is what I'll say. I think the last point that you called out, right? This is facts over feelings. I'm going to give you the feelings. My feelings are that they will be a championship contender. And this is why. I feel like Doc Rivers, factually, he has a history of when he goes to new teams, what does he do? Or what normally happens? The team is normally blown up. Now, I know in the past they have some comments that he made in the past about Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, being great players and all of these other things. But historically, when he went to the Celtics, brand new team, three Hall of Famers, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, KG, championship. Boom. When he went to the Clippers, I mean, he's went through a whole array of players: DeAndre Jordan, Chris Paul, Blake Griffin. Boom, whole new team. Now you have Paul George, Kawhi. So I would be the only reason I possibly think is that they will be a championship contender next year is because I feel like the East one is up for grabs. At the end of the day, LeBron's not in the East anymore. You know what I mean? And he was a player that was like, all right, cool. You pretty much know he's going to the finals. Last year, the Raptors went. This year, look at the Heat. Nobody expected them. Like a few people did, but them being the 5th seed, they definitely weren't favored to come out the East. I anticipate that they'll make some type of big roster change and they'll be there. That's what I anticipate. I don't think I don't know if they'll be in the championship, but I think Eastern Conference Finals is not a stretch at all.
If they were to add someone like a Chris Paul to their team with great leadership as well as Doc Rivers to the team, Chris Paul, who's someone who can probably help Joel Embiid out a lot as far as taking better shot selections, because we know when Joel Embiid is in his bag and he's playing near the rim, he's unguardable. But I feel like with him, he takes plays off and he'll settle for 3-point shots. But the dude is 7'1", 270 something pounds. He's a force to be reckoned with, and he's a great free throw shooter. And I think add someone like Chris Paul to the team where he'll get the ball closer to the basket. Chris Paul will set him up and put him in better situations versus Joel Embiid catching a screen and roll, shooting a 3-pointer from the top of the key. He'll actually get the ball near the basket and take better shots. That will help out. And then obviously with Chris Paul and his leadership role, he will elevate that team. But with the team as is right now, I just don't see it.
Right. Yeah, I agree with if they don't make changes, I'll be really concerned about how Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid work. Just from a perimeter standpoint, you have two players that are from the perimeter. I've always said I don't think Ben Simmons should start taking a lot of threes. I think he should at least take 2 a game just to keep the defense honest. When you have your center who's also averaging 4 to 5 threes a game, and he's not a high percentage scorer from there, I think you run into an issue. And I think right now, from a trade perspective, the bang for your buck is crazy. You can trade Ben Simmons and get some really good talent, or Joel Embiid.
I wouldn't even trade Ben Simmons. I would keep Ben Simmons, but I would change his position. I would go get a point guard like a Chris Paul, and I would make Ben Simmons like a 4.
Yeah. Like
that would be nice because you put him on the screen and roll. He's at the hole, and you can't stop him either. He's a 6'10" point guard.
That's fine.
Let's not forget that. He might not be a shooter, but he's a 6'10" point guard. And anybody that's guarding him at the point guard position is going to have an issue.
Yeah.
So I think you have a Chris Paul who can also shoot. You keep a shooter on the team, another shooter, and you put Ben Simmons at the 4 and Joel at the 5. You got a 6'10" and 7'1" guy down there.
Right.
So that's just my opinion on that. But we'll see what the season shows us later down the line.
Cool. Yeah, I think we're on the same page. But that's it for today. Facts over feelings. I need everybody to go comment. Make sure that you like it. Subscribe to the channel. Bobbie Champion.
I'm Chris Staples. Thank you guys for watching. Like he said, like, comment, share. Let us know any other topics you want us to bring up. talk about. Make sure you follow us on all our social sites. My Instagram is everybody_hates Chris. What's yours, Bobby?
Mine is at bobbie_champion1. Make sure you hit that follow button, man.
Guys, send us a DM and ask us about topics. We'll actually bring some of these topics up. Maybe we'll shout you guys out on who brought up the topic, and then we'll go from there. That make sure we, communicating with our fans and making sure that, we bring out topics that you guys actually want to hear about. We just have our own topics because, that's just what we're going off of. But we would love to hear from that fans and get you guys engagement and more involved with the show. So thank you guys for watching. We definitely appreciate it.
All right, y'all. We out. Facts over feelings. We're going to catch y'all in a few days.
Bobby be in his feelings. He be in his feelings way too much. Appreciate y'all. Thanks.
Let us know who won, too. Y'all know I won today.
Don't play, bro. You know I got you every single time.
We out.
All right, peace.
All right.
Stack the money, make it multiply. Yellow, white, gold, can't decide. Came to conquer, we don't divide. I'm a king, do it for the pride.